simply yes, least square estimation techniques. Okay, so oftenly you may come across the term is called the least square estimation. Okay. It's kind of a prediction tool because regression analysis is being used for this prediction. I mean, and so the best way to start with this there is a bivariate. We'll see these two different type of regression. There is a bivariate and multiple ordinary least square regression techniques. Okay, and it is very important things, and this is it's this regressional model is being used widely in different research area, starting from the social sciences, behavioral sciences, okay, and also any area that can be used, and you will use this as a tool that is it will entirely dependent on like this matrix algebra and the differential calculus in order to do some quantitative fitting, I mean quantitative heavy lifting. Okay, so so today two important things that I'm going to discuss. One is called the bivariate ordinary least square estimation, and this multiple ordinary least square estimation or this regression technique. So now, in order to solve these things, you know already this is what is the equation of the line? Okay, y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, and suppose there is a call. It's called the fitting. So you have to fitting a. Suppose you have some data points. So the data points may be a I mean linear data points, or you maybe have a means I mean forget about the linear and non-linear. You have some data points and you have plotted it, and you are in it in the two-dimensional Euclidean space. So now your job is to fit. You need to do the fitting a straight line. Okay, or suppose you have to say this fitting a fitting a function, simply fitting a function. So now if the function is a I use the polynomial fitting that we used to say is a polynomial fitting. Okay, now if you have to have a polynomial fitting on this particular data set, you have to check that this whether all the data points are crosses through the straight line or not. With origin is 0 and with this 45-degree you will have to have 45-degree slope is of 45-degree if you all the data points is per I mean if the straight line, if I simply have the one straight line and then that your means origin is 0 and you have the your slope is of 45-degree, then you can just draw a straight line. Okay, but the thing is that you have approximated. So all the data points have been approximated with some straight line, and in few cases, that few points which is not passing through by this straight line. Okay, then you need to estimate. There's an error is occurred. Okay, now you have to just estimate the error so that your predictions will be correct. So now here we are going to solve that's the sum of squared error. Sum of squared error, and whenever you are going to solve the linear regression, so we'll see this linear regression in bivariate case, and we'll see this multiple regression, or you will see the nonlinear regression also. Okay, in the nonlinear regression you will have some quadratic functions. Okay, and it will be some kind of curve shape because it may swap in all the data points that you have been plot. That is a single I mean linear function will not be enough to fit all the data points. You may have some curved linear functions. Okay, you need to have some curved linear functions which will be fitted. Okay, so now we'll see all these things through the regression techniques. And here main important thing is that we need to estimate two different parameters. One is called regression constant, another is called the regression coefficients for each independent variable in our model. So you have a function, so that is your model, and these functions you have in your function independent variables, you have dependent variable. Okay, now the regressional constant tells you the predicted value of the dependent variable. Okay, now in the all xi's are, suppose you are going to have yi is equal to b naught plus b1 xi plus error sum. Now where xi's are in observations or in samples, so these are called the independent variables x1, x2, x3, and yi are called the dependent variable. And you need to estimate a straight line, okay, in such a way so that all the data points will be fitted. So that you need to find this b0 and b1. So b0 is called the regression constant and b1 is called the regression coefficients. Okay, so now we'll see that our objective is that. So what is your main objective? So your objective is that ordinary least square estimate. Means what linear regression will estimate.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, are you changing the slides?
No, I'm not changing the slide. I'm just giving you the story.
Okay. Oh, okay, sir. Fine, sir.
Actually, the least square estimates the parameters. Okay, by finding the values for the constants and this coefficient. Okay, which minimize the sum of square error. So, आपका objective क्या होगा? That you need to find out the parameter in such a way so that means what are the parameters? Regression constant and the regression coefficient in such a way so that it will minimize the functions. That is a sum of square error for prediction. Okay, so now we'll see how it looks like, how it can be done. So today we'll see some mathematics. Like so, these are this for the case in which, so here there is only one independent variable. Okay, IV means independent variable. DV means dependent variable. So this is the model. So ordinary least square regression model. It can be expressed in the following way. That is yi is equal to b0 plus b1 xi plus ei. So this is a most popular model, and people are using as a. So actually, it is a, if you're sometimes it can be treated as a good predictor. Okay, so you are going to find a function. So it is a linear function. Okay, because you have a linear combination of variable, and it can be used as a linear predictor. Okay, so means you need to predict the values. These output values. Okay, one is called this actual value, another is called the expected value. I mean the value which is coming from your output. So if your actual value and expected value are same, then it's fine. It is perfectly fitted. And if it is not same, then it will incur some error. So now obviously error will come. Okay, and your objective is that you need to minimize this error. So that is your job. So that is why the expression is that yi is equal to b0 plus b1 xi plus ei. Okay. Now where yi is in the case that is you have that is ith score on the dependent variable that is which is to be computed. Okay, and this is an exercise at this case. So I the score on the dependent variable. So I'll take one example so that it will be more clear to all of you. Okay, so don't worry. So I'll take example also, but the mathematics you should know, because if you apply any MATLAB framework or this Python, so if you simply find this polynomial of degree 1, okay, yeah, then it will automatically fit the one line. But how it is coming, how the line is coming, so that is more important to know. So that is why you need to know the mathematics, little bit of matrix algebra and this calculus. Okay, and this b0 is called this. Some samples values are there. Some observations are there. That is the exercise from ith observations that will come from I is equal to 1 to n. Similarly, you need to have the score. Okay, for the yi for each observations against x1, x2 till xn. But b0 is called regression constant, as I already told you. You have the two parameters, unknown parameters that you need to find out. One is called the b0 that is a regression constant, and B1 is called the regression coefficient for the effect of X. And EI is the error, and we make, so when the error is occurred, when you are going to predict Y from X. So X is your actual, X is your actual, and Y is an estimate. Okay, or you can simply have that it is an X is your desired. Okay, then Y which is being generated. Okay, now the desired minus actual, this is called an error. Now in this way also you can also think of it. Okay, and in this error is nothing but it is a some value for this, for each observations you will have this one error. Okay, so that's why it is a EI, it is an error, and we make in predicting Y whenever you're going to predict Y from X. So now in the linear regression, simply you can take one real-time example. Some of you must have used this Where is my train app. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you see in the Where is my train app, if you just going to search the status of the train, then you will find these two different like timing. It means whether the train is getting delayed and what is the actual timing of the train, and what is the expected. Okay, now how they are going to do these things? So they are going to get some data from the GPS input data. From the input data, they are going to predict it. Why? And if they over the time, over the year, or over the month, so they are capturing this data. Then they are just trying to predict. So how you are going to say that their prediction is correct? So now they are just calculating in this way, because whenever you are going to have in the train, you can use your own GPS. So it is just correcting this GPS. Okay, so you can just think of it. So it is an independent variables, and this is and the time is called the dependent variable. So time is going to have based on these things. Okay, and it will just check with this actual expected. So you will have the two different colors. One is the red color, another is the green color. So you can just think of it as an exercise or as an example that how the prediction, because how it is a kind of a good predictor that you can see how this app is going to tell you. So it is just simply it is a very simple thing that has been implemented. Okay, so you can just think of it. If you just think of it in a real life example, so it will be more clear. But in background, what it is going on, that you need to see. So now in running the regression model, so what we are trying to do is to minimize the sum of square error. So that is more important thing, because why sum of square error? Because for every observation sequences, one error is going to have. So that's why I need to add all this sum. And why this square term? Why this square term? Anyone?
To make it positive.
Make it positive. Very good. But instead of taking this square term, I could have taken this modulus of sum of EI. Modulus of sum of EI, which will also give it to this same result, positive. But why don't you use this modulus sum of I is equal to an EI?
To make the function quadratic for optimization purpose. We are taking the square term.
No. My question is, instead of taking so because we are not going to use any, because it is a quadratic is fine, as you are going to square, because to eliminate the negative term or to avoid this negative term. But your function is it is not a quadratic function; it is a linear function. But my question is that I told you that you need to estimate the B0 and B1. So I mean you need to minimize it. You need to minimize this error. So your objective is to minimize this error, which is occurred while predicting y, while predicting yi for each xi. So my question is, why don't you use modulus of I is equal to 1 to n ei?
Sir, maybe because we have to differentiate it and modulus function is not differentiable at each
Yes,
point.
very good. So that is the answer I was looking for. Okay, because you may come across, I mean, you may be asked in future that means why don't you use it? Because as you are going to solve one optimization technique problem, okay, and optimization technique means either minimization or maximization. But as per your program needs, you need to minimize it. You need to minimize this error. But means so there is a one way to minimization. I mean, best way to minimization is that you need to do the differentiation. Okay, so now differentiation means limit. Suppose if you are going to differentiate y, I mean, what is the rate of change of y? Okay, in each changes of x. So simply limit delta x tending to 0, delta y by delta x. What is there is a incremental changes of y and with respect to incremental changes of x, or simply you can write y minus delta y divided by x minus delta x. So it is the dy by dx that you know. Huh? So now, and each points that is you have very correctly pointed out that it may not be, you cannot have differentiate this modular function, but you can have the differentiation with the square. So that is why we are going to use this. Okay. Now specifically, we want to do this to find the values of B0 and B1. You need to find, as I already told you, that you need to optimize it, or you need to minimize this error, and you have the two unknowns. So now, as per the linear algebra, so as you are having the two unknowns, one is B0 is regression constant and B1 is regression coefficients, then at least you need to have two equations. Otherwise, you cannot solve it. So as per the test, this whatever unknowns are there, that many equations you need to have. Otherwise, you cannot solve it. So now you need to find the values of V0 and V1, which minimize this quantity in equation 2 above, as you can say. Okay. Now you just plug in this now from the EI. How we are going to compute EI? It is a yi minus B0 minus B1 xi. You just rearrange these things equation now. Okay, so it is a desired minus actual that you can have. I already told you, or actual minus expected. So now we begin by rearranging the basic least square equation for the bivariate case, so that we can express the error term, that is EI, in terms of yi, xi, b0 and b1, so that it yields these expressions. EI is equal to yi minus b0 minus b1 xi. So this is a recursion norm. So simultaneously, you please write it down in your text in your copy, so that you need to solve it. Okay, because here some step jumps are there. So it possible that you just write it down. So although I'll be sharing this PPT, but now for the present moment, so how the things is coming, you need to do a little bit of calculations. Okay. Now you have to substitute this expression back into equation 2. Now what I'm going to get? SSE sum of square root is equal to I is equal to 1 to n. Now it is a EI squared उसमें था. Then you just put the value of EI in this expression. If we just put the value of EI, what I'm going to get? yi minus b0 minus b1 xi whole square. Okay. So this is equal. Now you need to do the difference. You need to do the differentiation with respect to two unknowns. What are the unknowns? B0 and B1. Now you need to do the partial differentiation. Okay. Now firstly we need to do the partial differentiation of sum of square root with respect to B0 and partial differentiation of SSE with respect to B1. ठीक है, we'll see one by one. Now del SSC by del V naught is equal to del V naught, which is sum of I is equal to 1 to n yi minus V naught V1 x square. So now I can write it by this I mean calculus, that I can write it that we are going to move this summation operator out. Okay, so we are going to move out summation operator front. Since the derivative of sum is equal to the sum of derivatives. Okay, we can move out this summation, as you can see, we can move out this summation operator out front. Okay, because the derivative of sum is equal to the sum of derivatives. Then you can do it. Are you understanding? Okay, now it will be very easy to, yes, so now it will be very easy to differentiable. Now you can simply have del V naught into yi minus V naught minus B1 x square. Now if you do the differentiations, क्या मिलेगा आपका आंसर बोलिए?
So summation -1 I0 to n -1
You need to do the differentiation
minus 2 I minus 2.
and equal to 0.
Sorry, 2
Plus
into okay.
Del SSC del B naught is equal to 0. That you need to do it as per the calculus rule. Now what are you going to get? These things, del SSC by del B naught is equal to I is equal to 1. Okay, yi minus 2 into yi minus B naught and B1 into xn. Now if you do the further arrangement of this in this expression, so what you're going to get, your final result will be del SSC by del V naught is equal to -2, then summation of I is equal to 1 to n yi minus V naught minus B1 xi. ठीक है? Now you equate to 0. Now if you equate to 0, or okay, we'll simply do this. Firstly, we'll do before equation of the 0. We'll do we'll differentiation that equations that expression with respect to B1. ठीक है? Now if you do the differentiation with respect to B1, then del B1 into I is equal to 1 to n yi minus V naught minus B1 x square. Now you can move summation operator out front. Okay, now you have del B1 yi minus B1 x square. Now what are you going to get? If you do the differentiation with respect to B1, क्या मिलेगा आपको?
So 2 times yi minus b naught minus b1 xi into xi, summation of n.
Summation of I is equal to 1 to n. Huh? Let's see. Are you getting this one?
Yes, sir.
Because B naught is constant. Okay. Then if you do the differentiation, then it will be 0. Okay. Now with that we have our two partial derivatives of sum of square error, which is represented in equation number 5 and equation number 6. Now next step is to set each one of them to 0. Now in the 5, if you just 0 minus 2 I is equal to 1 to n yi minus b naught minus b1 xi, that is equal to 0. And equation number 6, if you just make it 0, you please write it down because you have to solve it. Okay, minus 2 I is equal to 1 to n xi into yi minus b naught minus b1 xi. So you have two equations. So now I'll take each and one equation that we'll see. Now firstly, we'll see. Now this is minus 2 is there. You just multiply both the things by half. Then this minus 2 will be, or we can it will be just removed. You are simply having this is 0 is equal to, or you can see the minus of y is equal to 1 to n yi minus b naught minus b1 into xi. Okay. Now if you just insert, or if you just expand it, if this with for each and every component, you are going to have I is equal to 1 to n yi minus I is equal to 1 to n b naught minus I is equal to 1 to n b1 into xi. Okay. So now you are going to distribute the summation of operator through all the items. Okay, means you need to distribute the summation of operator though all of the terms in the expression in parentheses. Then what you are going to have, I is equal to 1 to n yi minus I is equal to 1 to n b naught, I is equal to 1 to n b1 into xi. Then these expressions will produce which result? Now you add, so your objective is to find out b naught and b1. ठीक है, आपका objective है आपका two unknowns है b naught and b1. You need to find out this b naught and b1. So that is your job. So that here, as you can see that the b naught is sitting idle or in the independently. We just simply just take out b naught in the left hand side. Okay, then we can simply add the middle summation term on the right to both sides of the equation. So you can simply have I is equal to 1 to n b naught is equal to I is equal to 1 to n yi minus I is equal to 1 to n b1 into xi. And since b naught and b1 is same for all the cases in the original least square equation, then it further simplifies to actually it is b naught means 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus n times b naught. So that's it is written n b naught is equal to I is equal to 1 to n yi minus b1 I is equal to 1 to n xi. Now if you just simply divide, b naught is equal to 1 by n I is equal to 1 to n yi minus b1 by n I is equal to 1 to n xi. Okay. Then how do you do these things? To isolate b naught on the left hand side of the equation, we then divide both sides by n. Then what I can write?
Mean with respect to y and x.
Good. Then b naught is equal to y bar minus b1 into x bar. So this is the expression for b naught, and this b naught can only be found when you know the value of b1. So this you know the value of x and y. You can easily get it, but you know, so it is only be possible of value of b naught when you know the value of b1. So now your next job is to find this value of b1. So now we need to solve the equation number 8 for b1. So what is the equation number 8 में क्या है देखो, these are the equation number 8. Okay, minus 2 I is equal to 1 to n xi into yi minus b naught minus b1 into xi. ठीक है, आपको इक्वेशन नंबर 8 सॉल्व करना है. We need to solve the equation number 8. Again, you need to get rid of the minus 2. As I already told you, you just multiply each side by the equation minus half. ठीक है? Then you are going to have I is equal to 1 to n xi into yi minus b naught minus b1 xi. So now we distribute xi through all the terms of the parentheses. Now you are just multiplying xi in each of the term within the parenthesis. Now you will have yi xi minus b naught xi minus b1 into xi square. Now we then distribute summation operator through all the terms in the expression in parentheses. Okay, you need to distribute the summation operator, the same process that you have done for computing the b naught. That's it. I'm not going to do any extra things. So the same summation operator that we have done, I mean the way that you have distributed the summation operator through all the terms in the expression on parenthesis. So 0 I is equal to 1 to n yi xi minus I is equal to 1 to n b naught xi minus I is equal to 1 to n b1 into xi square. Okay. Then we bring all the constant in these terms. So what are the constant in this term? b0 and b1 in front out of the summation operator as follows. Like b0, okay, and b1, that is just simply, I mean, moving in the front for each summation operator. Next, we then add last term on the right side of the equation to both sides, because already you have an expression of computing this b0. Similarly, you need to have an expression of computing whether this b1 can be, I mean the term which is associated with this b1, that can be written, or you can bring in front, that is b1 I is equal to 1 to n xi square into I is equal to n yi xi minus b0 I is equal to 1 to n xi. Now next you go back to the value of b0 from equation 9 and substitute it into the result we just obtained. Then you will have, and this will gives you, that is b1 I is equal to 1 to n xi square I is equal to 1 to n y xi. Okay, and you just computed this value of b0, putting the value of b0. So in the b0 that you have seen that b0, so there is an expression with xi and yi as well as this b1. I is equal to I mean 1 to n yi in, it is simply a y bar. You can also simply write, there is no problem, no harm. Okay, that, or we are writing in a different way, so that you will, whenever you are going to multiply it with the both summation, so you will have the concrete result. Okay, so now I am just unfolding it from yi to 1 by n I is equal to 1 to n yi, and again I am going to unfolding it this x bar, that is I is equal to 1 to n xi. Okay, now you just multiply it. So multiply out the last term on the right, what you are going to get, b1 I is equal to 1 to n xi square yi xi, and you have this yi into I is equal to 1 to n yi into I is equal to 1 to n xi n minus b1 into that is x1 square. Okay, and then if you add the last term, now you have one term, because there is no b0 is there. Now you then add the last term to the right of the both side of the equation. Now you are just simply rearranging these terms, rearranging these all the b1 terms in one side, in rearranging all the bi terms in one side and other terms in the other sides. Okay, now you just take b1 is common from the left hand side expression. On the left hand side of the equation, you can then factor out b1. Then you are going to have I is equal to 1 to n xi square plus I is equal to 1 to n xi square, and these things. Okay, then b1 is equal to these expressions. This is expression number 11. As you can see, there is in the b1, so you cannot find any b0, because it can be easily evaluated. You know the values of xi, yi, and you know the values of x bar into y bar. You can easily compute it. And the expression on the right, as you will recall, it is the ratio of sum of the cross product of xi and yi over the sum of the square for xi. That is the things. Okay, that is it is the ratio of the sum of the cross product of xi into yi over the sum of the square for xi. And simply, if you just put the value of b1, sorry, this b1, this expression, if you just put it in the B naught, where is B naught that you have already computed? Here you will get this B naught. Okay. Now we'll see one example. I'll show you one example so that can you see this slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now this is for this single variable regression analysis, because you have this one independent variables. If you have more than one independent variables, then you may have multiple regression analysis. So now these are the things that I already told you. You have a data point xi yy over I is equal to 1 to n. I think you have these slides probably. And yi is equal to a plus bxi plus ei. Yi is equal to yi minus a bxi, already seen, and is the sum of square error yi minus a minus b, where here a is equivalent to b naught and b is equivalent to b naught. I mean, a is a regression constant, b is a regression coefficient. That's it. And you have to draw a straight line. So the meaning of the linear regression is that you have to draw a straight line which fits all the sample points, and you have to minimize the set. Now you have to take the differentiation of summation of sum of square error with respect to AB. You have to minimize it over A and B. Now this is the line. So in a statistical way, if you are going to have understand it, so this what is the best line? Because the predictor that you are going to find out, it means that what are the best line which fits or which describes all the sample points that can be obtained by the formula. So after solving these things, so you could get yi is equal to, that is y bar plus r into sy by sx xi minus x bar plus ci, where r is called the correlation coefficient and sy is the, this is a standard deviation, that is a variance, square root of variance, and sx is equal to or another way, so it is the baseline, or another way, whenever you are going to compute the two coefficient w1 and w2, ठीक है, अगर आपके पास values है x and y are given, you just plug in it, because whenever you are going to fit it, because if you use the MATLAB or if you use it Python, and you are going to just apply the fitting a straight line. There is a concept is called the fitting a straight line. So eventually what you are going to get the values of w1 and w2, where w1 is called the w1 is called your regression constant and w2 is called this regression coefficient. We just simply have this formula the same way that we have done. Okay, you know this summation of what? Summation of x square into summation of x plus y into x square minus whole square. Okay. So now suppose this type of problem will be given to you. Suppose you have some observations. Observation from I is equal to 1 to a, where n is 25. 1 I is equal to 1, I is equal to, for each sample, x's and y's are given. Xi is the input, yr is the output. Okay, x's are input. Input means xi is the independent variables and y is the output. Okay, so it is an actual things that is for this table will be given to you, and you need to fit it. Now, first job, because next lab, that if you have completed this previous assignment, that's the decisions rule on satellite images. Then you'll have to solve this assignment for tomorrow's, in Wednesday's class. That is how to solve a linear regression problem. One data set will be given to you, and you'll have to use the linear regression as this multiple linear regression. So multiple linear regression tomorrow I'll teach you along with some this logistic regression. Okay. First, the logistic regression is not a regression, it is a classifier. So we'll take up it. But here you will see x's and y's are given. Firstly, initially whatever data set है, you just do the scatter plot. ठीक है? आपका पहले काम क्या होगा? You just see the scatter plot of the data points. So you have this. These are the forms. Next is you have actually here all the observation has not been shown. Only 7 observations has shown. Now you have to compute. In order to compute W1 and W2, so in the W1 and W2 there are different terms are there, xy, x square and y square. So you need to first compute it. Then summation of y you can have, summation of x square you can have, summation of xy you can have, summation of y square. You need to just draw this table so that it will be easy for you to calculate. Okay. Next, you have to have this fitted regressional line. So you have to have the fitted regressional curve. Suppose if you are just fitted. Okay, that is y hat is estimated, where b0 hat plus b1 hat x, where y0 is equal to b0. Suppose it is 17 that you have computed, and b1 is 2. I mean, regression constant is 17 and regression is 2 plus x. So this is the line, and you need to find out this error. Error at what point? Suppose in 21 samples, x21. Okay, now you see what is the value of x21. Suppose you have these values is 93 and 194. Okay, for 93 values, 194 is actual. Now we'll see x21 and you have to compute. Okay, how do you go? Now next step is to how do you compute it? So once the fitted regressional line is known to you, because you have known, if you know the values of y, b0 and b1, so obviously you are going to fit on regressional line. Okay, so once the fitted regressional line is known, the fitted value of corresponding to any observed data point can be calculated. For example, the fitted value of the corresponding 21st observation. I mean, you can also compute for all the observations. Then y21 is equal to, okay, b0 that is, and b1 plus this x21. So x21 का value क्या है? You just see 93. Okay? You have just computed it as a 93. So now you just put it. So y21 is equal to 202. Now the observed value, because actual things, I mean the observed value for the corresponding field, because for each input, so you have some observed output and the estimated output that you have computed from fitting a line. Now the observed response at this point is 194. So therefore the residual, I mean the error, now the residual at this point is E21 is equal to Y21 minus this thing. So now 194 minus 202 means it is a minus 8.6. So this is an error. Okay. And now if you are just compute this, calculating this error, okay. I mean from these things you have to compute this in standard order, then actual value, and this is called the fitted value, and next one is called the residual. So for each point you can also find the residual. Then you need to estimate this error, and you have to minimize this error in such a way so that there will not be much significant difference. So it is okay for this minus, maybe it is very less. Okay, but now if there is a very large difference between observed minus actual, then there is a problem. This fitting is not proper. Okay. These are the things that you need to do. Okay. But it may also so happen if you feel that all the data points is perfectly fitted. Okay. It may. Yeah, I mean, it is also not good, because sometimes it may so happen that error is going to be fitted. So now the concept, there is a concept in residual analysis. So there is a concept is called the bias and variance. Okay, so there is a bias and variance that you need to compute. So this bias variance that is to be computed, and obviously you need to take care of it. So suppose this type of iris dataset that you have already implemented, suppose this type of data would be given to you. Although these iris dataset are being used for the classification purposes, but it cannot be used for this regression. But still, I'm thinking, or I will give it to you one assignment on regression analysis, so that you can do it. And n-dimensional column vector is there, and some simple linear regression on iris dataset we are. So you need to have some predictor. So the predictor, if it is not given to you, y value, you need to have one predictor yi is equal to, we are just simply a mean of xi in plus I into standard deviation. So it is my concept that I conceptualized in this way. Okay, now let xi x1 to x1 and mean xi is defined. It is x1 is equal to I is equal to 1 to xi, and the variance also you can compute. And this value of error. So now the value of error is to be obtained in this way. Okay, so this is the formula, and find the line, and you have to like to find the error and minimize this error. I mean, you just think of it for this linear regression, this multiple regression analysis. So tomorrow I will teach you where you have to consider in terms of a matrix. Okay, y is equal to bx plus e, where y, capital Y, it is a that can be considered as a dependent variable. Capital X is independent variable, and you have this capital B. Okay, where this capital Y will be a column matrix n plus 1. Okay, in case of which will stores on the dependent variable. X is an independent variable, it will be n cross k plus 1 matrix, or on the independent variables. Where first column is the placeholder of column of ones for the constant. Okay, regression constant, and the remaining columns correspond to independent variable. B is a you can have this k plus 1 into 1. It is a column matrix. It will also contain the regression constant and coefficients. And E will be a, it is also n cross 1 column matrix, error of prediction. So instead of whenever you have the multiple variables, then you need to consider it in terms of matrix. Okay, so there is a different variation. So it is actually a linear model, or this multiple regression. You have this yi is equal to a plus b1 x1i x2y x3i xki. You have k plus 1 is parameter. Okay, and this expression is yi comma x1i x2y x3i till xki. This is called the multiple linear regressions. You have the more than one independent variable. Whenever you have this more than one independent variables, then you need to consider it in terms of a matrix. So simple equations will be y, capital Y is equal to x into b plus e. Now we'll see. And this linear model, that is y is equal to x plus ei. So it is a parameter matrix. So as it is written, it is a column matrix. Okay, or you can have this is a n cross 1. Then x will have a n cross k plus 1, and a will be a is your k plus 1 into 1 column matrix containing regression constant and coefficient, and sometimes e is there. So e is also a column matrix, so which will hold the error of prediction. Okay, I mean that you have to find values for the elements of v, b, So or here it is A, that is minimize the sum of square error. Here also will be use the term is called the sum of square error, SSE, and the quantity that you will be using, you have to minimize with the expression SSE is equal to E transpose E. That's it, E transpose E. So we'll see all these things, but so this is called after a linear model. So there is a different test, statistical test people are following to test, evaluate that how much your fitting is reliable. Okay, so suppose you are applying this simple regression analysis and you are doing some fitting. So how means how your fitting is appropriate, how your fitting is correct. So now in order to test it, you have to do some fitting. I mean testing or this validating. That is called the ANOVA model, analysis of variance. Or in the ANOVA, there is simply F test and there is a reason of experiments. And also the regression analysis, there's a more extensive version that can be studied. There's a called the support vector regression, that is called the kernel methods. So it can also be used. So these are the things. So I'll just share both these slides to you so that you can go through it and you will have idea that how these things can be implemented. Okay. So if you have any questions, so you can ask me, because multiple regression analysis I'll teach you tomorrow's class, not today. So you please practice it. Okay. So if you do not practice this, you will not able to digest. So whatever that I told you in the class, you first practice it today. Then only in tomorrow's class when I'll be deriving again the multiple linear regression. So it will be easy for you to digest it. Okay.
Sir,
Yes, please tell me.
actually, sir, I have a question. In the Teams platform, the recording of January 2nd, two recordings are there and both is of 1 minute.
January 2nd.
January 2nd class.
Oh, so I don't know. Okay, I haven't checked it. Okay.
Oh, acha. Okay, sir. If anyone has the recording,
If anyone has, you can ask your friend if anyone has just start recording. I mean, started recorded. Means all these things, so you could get it. Okay. So now I think this class has been recorded, na? The recording has already. Sir. Anyway, so you just follow up all the lecture materials that I already given to you. Okay. And if you have any doubts in any point of time, okay, so you can also discuss with me after the class also. There is no problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
But your main objective is that you have to study first, and you also you need to implement it. So if you implement it, then only it will be more clear to you. I think you must have received two books. One is this Dudahat book, because one of your friends has already, I think, posted in the last class that he told me. Dudahat book. So did you receive? All of you have received this Dudahat book. I mean, sub copy.
Actually, sir, I am from executive PhD batch. I don't think I will be receiving. Okay, so I'll just because you are in the same group, na? So you should receive. Okay, then I will check the section. Okay, I'll just Subro, are you there?
Sir, could you
Yes,
please
sir.
share again? I have not received, sir. I'm
Sir,
from executive.
I have uploaded it on Teams only.
Subro, you please tell them because there means where they could be able to download it. Okay, Subro.
Please check the files of Teams.
Yes, in the file.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir, it is
Yes, it
available.
is available.
Okay, Subro. Thank you. And also, I already posted like these theoretics books also, pattern recognition. Okay, few lectures also we covered from, and so it is my favorite book. There's a theoretics book, so it's a very interesting book. So you can also follow up all the Bayesian portions from this thing. If you feel any difficulty in understanding from the Dudard book, so in the Dudard books a lot of mathematics are there. Okay, so I tried to explain you in a more easiest way. So I don't know how much you have understood, but if you have doubts, you at any point of time you can ask me, or you follow the these theoretics books also. So shortly I'll be sharing the PPT of these theoretics books. Okay, all the PPTs that I'm having. Okay, so but more practical things is required from your side, because ultimately I'm talking about this MTech regular students. So you need to take up some research projects. Your MTech thesis in this way, and if some of you are interested to work in this field, in the field of AI and machine learning, then obviously you need to be very proactive. Okay, in this manner, and from now onwards, so you have to think of your different domain of working, because because this is a machine learning, so it is an techniques. But you need to first find out the area. You can go for the human computer interaction, you can go for the human robot interactions, you can go for the security perspective, either it's a network security, either it is a biometric security. Okay, or you can go for this brain computer interface in a cognitive region. Okay, image processing, so software engineering, so any fields. So there is no restriction that you cannot apply the email. So people are using a different email techniques. Obviously, I'll touch upon deep learning course. This is a deep learning algorithms. After the email things is over, then obviously I'll start few. Not possible to cover all these things, but few lectures will be on the deep learning, mostly on the convolutional neural network and this recurrent neural network, and obviously some reinforcement learning. So three things. So I'll cover so that you have, and also the autoencoder concepts, so that it will be more easy for all of you to take up it will help you to take up good projects, MTech thesis in this area. Okay, so thank you so much. I'm just sharing the PPT to all of you now, so you can go through and you do things. We'll meet again tomorrow. Okay, I am disconnecting.
Sir,
Yes.
any